warming hut was it was a competition that we won in Winnipeg to design a 100 square foot pavilion on a 10-kilometer long frozen river, which is the longest frozen river in the world, our ice skating rink. And we were one of 3 winners from around the world to build the pavilion with Frank Gehry, who was the invited architect of the year. And it was an interesting context to work in because there is no such thing as sight really when you're working on a frozen river. And to develop a project that had a relationship to that place in that context, we wanted to make something that wasn't obtrusive but somehow integrated well. So the main point of the rope pavilion was to keep it simple basically and create this structure that was essentially just a wooden frame that was wrapped by 6,000 linear feet of rope. That way when it snowed, it kind of gathered the snow on the different layers of the rope, embedded it within the site. We didn't want the people inside of it to feel enclosed, and we didn't want to separate them between that landscape, which is something of a surreal experience to actually to be a part of. So by particleizing the material or using a material that isn't solid, it allowed us to somehow maintain that relationship, and it created this really nice playful exchange between the people on the inside and the outside, where you had these little moments of kind of peekaboo where you could separate the rope and look in and look out, but it also allowed the light to come through and pick up really nice shadows. The texture was really important for the project. Basically we figured we're not going to be able to heat a negative 40-degree structure to be warm, so we can emotionally make it feel warm for the occupants. And it was an interesting process how we actually developed it, and that we basically only had 4 months from the time that we won the competition until we had to have it installed in Winnipeg. And so we went through this process where we built over 25 full-scale mock-ups of different pieces. And because of my professorship at the University of Illinois, where I'm the head of our fabrication lab, I had a team there that basically just kept building full-scale mock-ups every single day, so that way we could check our assumptions. And it was really an interesting process because we had never worked with rope ever before.
The project Habitação para Todos, a program of self-built dome, is a reflection on the architecture in contemporary world. The idea born 6 years ago when I was in Brazil for a few months, and this year I'm graduate and I suggested this theme for my thesis. The goal is a cooperation between different disciplines, so architecture and social parts. The need from an architectural point of view have been reduced on 3 on essential elements, so our structure of home, technology and connection between informal city and city. The people can choose to buy the home on 3 levels. The first is 50%, where are only structure and basic elements. The second is on 7%, where are structure of home and technology and exterior wall partition, door and window. And the third level, there is a home over, and there are exterior wall, window, door, and interior partition. The most important elements of the project is that the architecture enter inside the informal city, where is the favelados people. It's not like a modern program of Brazilian government, where put the favelados outside the city.